Good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning. Yes.
Good morning. Name not available. Good morning, Suzanne.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Tarek. I usually set up my platform, and I need to record from a secondary computer. So I think I heard somebody say good morning as I was setting it up over there, and I couldn't answer. So I wasn't ignoring you. I'm just setting everything up in the morning. So I think I'm ready to get started. A couple of things that I'm changing. And just things will be improving as we move along. So there's the disclaimer. This is for educational purposes only. And this is what I've got for today. So what I've decided to do is do the levels and all that stuff first. I'll talk about the pre-session prep and all this, but then I want to do the mark the levels because I know that some of you trade the open. I do not, so that's where I'm going to do yesterday, what worked, what didn't work, my setups. I will do that last, and usually the market is already open when that happens, and that way it doesn't interfere with what some of you might be already getting involved in or starting to trade. And I had not opened my DOS, so I'll open that up right now and then get back to this. So the things to know before the open, I usually get this from Investopedia. I like seeing generally what the market is doing before getting involved in anything. This morning, there's a massive spike in AMD. And stock futures are pointing a little bit higher after yesterday's sell-off. Home Depot had earnings, BMO, and they're rising after strong results. So people might think, okay, so Home Depot, that's building, economy, etc. So that might play into some of your setups. And then tonight, President Trump is addressing the nation with the State of the Union address. What will be said? How will that have an impact on the economy? No one knows, but it could have an impact. So it's good to have it there and good to have it in the back of your mind. Economic calendar, personally, I do not see any events that I am prioritizing from my setups. So I like seeing if there's CPI or anything at 8:30, or if there's news at 9:45 or news at 10. As far as I'm concerned, for my setups, I don't see anything. And there are no earnings before market open or after market close that I am paying attention to. Tomorrow, NVIDIA after market close is a huge, possible huge market mover. Okay, so let's look at trading view, higher time frame. I always do my analysis. I look, especially on Mondays, I like to look at the daily time frame. But usually when I'm looking at the higher time frame, I'm looking at the 30-minute. And with the 30-minute, I can always zoom out, right? I can zoom out. I can see that there's higher liquidity. This is all-time highs. All-time highs are up here. This is very recent highs. I like having fair value gaps on my chart. I also like to put rectangles around liquidity. And so this is what I'm looking at this morning. There is definitely some liquidity up here. I guess I could put a rectangle up here as well. This is yesterday's high. So maybe put a little bit of a triangle right here. As far as I'm concerned, Apple went up yesterday, took out liquidity over here. There was room to the left. As far as a setup, I didn't see anything, but on the 30-minute, there's absolutely a good setup where it broke out of this level, retested with this kangaroo tail, a trendy kangaroo, I should call it. How we came back down here and dipped and then broke out again. So this is a perfect setup, especially on the higher time frame, the way that I like to trade it for the break and retest. And once you're used to it, you can tell that it's broke very strong with a lot of, with a big green candle, retested a few 30-minute red candles, and then again, a breakout above the previous highs. Okay, so I'm personally not looking at anything on Apple until it gets above yesterday's high or around yesterday's high, or if it comes down near this liquidity, I would like to see how it reacts. Do we start buying here, or does it break down and go back down? But on the higher time frame, we see here that's a 2-day pivot relationship. In the last 2 days, it has been higher. That's basically what this means. And we are approaching R3 here for those of you that look at the Camarilla levels. AMD on the 30-minute. AMD is, from my style, is absolutely untradeable today. I'm not even going to look at it. Massive, massive move. I mean, from 200 or even 197 pre-market to a high of 227. So a $27 move, and AMD already is still up right now, 8.6% at where it is right here. This would have been a 10, 12, maybe even more percentage move. Not on my list this morning. AMD, room to the left as far as the higher at the highs here. There is none because there's a lot of resistance over here, especially with the 30-minute fair value gap. Lower, so below the lows right here, there's no room to the left because we were here yesterday. Therefore, Amazon is not on my list. Google, 30-minute time frame from where it is right now. If it were to come down to 310.39 area here, I would look at it. So I will set an alert for here. As far as if it breaks up higher than pre-market high here, and I'll add these levels on. I have it on my DOS charts. I do not have it on TradingView. But if it makes it above pre-market high here, I'm not interested because the market was just there yesterday. So as far as resistance, there is absolutely some resistance up here. The only thing I'm looking at on Google is the possibility of it coming down and retesting this area, which was a breakout area, right? So if it comes down here and puts in a strong kangaroo tail, and I see a lot of buying, well, we might just be retesting this level from the breakout. Broke out of here, come down here and retest this breakout level. It could possibly, if we see some buying, it could be making higher highs. Meta. Meta, I'm on the 30-minute. I've got this large range up here. Let me zoom in a bit here. So we have broken down here on Meta. By broken down, I just mean it's a massive red candle. So the opposite of AMD. I guess they're spending money for their deal with AMD. But at S3 here, it seems to have found support. So if it comes back down near this area, I will put a rectangle here as well, right around here. And maybe I'll make it all the way there. I would be curious to see if it can come down and grab my alert that's already there. If it can come and alert here and then we see some buying, it might be interesting for Meta. If it goes higher, I'm not really interested because there's no room to the left. The market was there just recently. Microsoft. Yesterday, we had a bit of a flush on Microsoft. Pre-market, it was going down. And then right as the market opened, we flushed. Not much of a retest on this first 30-minute candle. So whoever shorted Microsoft yesterday, and there was a level of possible support right here. We might see it on the 5-minute, but on 30-minute time frame, it just blasted through that. So don't know if Microsoft had news yesterday, but there is and if somebody wants to jump in here, I know I'm talking a lot and fast. Please don't hesitate. Just go ahead and interrupt me. But this was a big move down yesterday. As far as where would possible support be, I mean, we are in no man's land here. So it's hard to tell. You can go on the daily. Oh, here, let's go to the 4 hour. Okay. So with the 4 hour, right where it is right here, let's put an alert, not an alert, but just a horizontal line. So this was a high, and so resistance here, then we broke through it, then retouched it, came down close to it, touched it, and then in this area, didn't seem like it was holding too much until this candle right here, and where it is right now. So where the market's opening right now on Microsoft could be interesting. Personally, I would have to see a lot of buying after this massive move down, right? I mean, just recent highs was 485, and right now we're at 385. So down $100 from recent January 26th, so a month ago. Not massively interested in Microsoft. NVIDIA, 30-minute. So NVIDIA, I don't know if the market thought that the deal that AMD signed would have something negative to do with AMD, with NVIDIA, but the market did come down as AMD went up. Right, so around the same time frame, this candle here was the 7 o'clock candle, and at 7 o'clock we had the reverse happening on NVIDIA. A lot of people started buying at S4 here because we touched down here and then started reversing. So this is a kangaroo tail setup that I like. I do not trade pre-market, but this is a good signal for those that trade this in pre-market. So there is definitely some people that took longs here, but where's your stop? Right? That is a massive distance to get to your stop. So to get 3R, you need to get way up to higher than yesterday's high. Not massively interested in NVIDIA, especially that it has earnings tomorrow. Tesla's in a zone. Tesla's been going sideways since aftermarket closed yesterday. So it's been tight in this range as far as it making a new high above pre-market high or yesterday's aftermarket high here. There is still not a lot of room to the left, right? Because the market was just there yesterday. If it were to come down here and show a lot of buying, take out these stops below here, then I might be interested either in a long or a continuation down. Right? Depends on what will happen at the open or in the first half hour. Okay, a little bit of a punch up right now. Qs. Tesla, I was on the 5-minute time frame. Sorry about that. Still, same analysis. Right? The analysis is I would want it to come down below yesterday's low for a sweep. And as far as the highs here, the market was just there yesterday. So I'm not super interested in that. Just get rid of this from the example of a few days ago. Qs, 30-minute. Let's zoom in a bit. I will set an alert for the Qs if it comes down and sweeps below these lows here. I did put this in here. I'll revisit this once the market is open. I did not take a trade yesterday. I was away from my computer when the later in the day setups appeared, both in Qs and SPY, but I will talk about it in a few minutes. The market is opening up in 1 minute for those of you who trade the open. I was on replay showing an example to one of my students. So this is the double bottom here that I saw. So I'll come back and talk about that a little bit later. Alert on Google, that's probably from yesterday. Just put Google on my, yeah, Google might be sweeping down here to grab, it is at pre-market low and approaching yesterday's low. So I will be looking at Google once the market opens, but like I've said many times before, I do not trade the open. And then SPY, let's go to the 30-minute. For those of you who are still with me, SPY, same thing. I want to see if it comes down and gets liquidity down where we saw a lot of buying yesterday. As far as it going higher, I'm not interested because there's no room to the left. So the only time I would be looking at taking a good long would be as if we break this up. And it might happen today, might happen tomorrow after NVIDIA earnings. We'll see. So anybody trading the open, good luck. And if there's anything you want to see on this trading view chart, please don't hesitate. I've set the alerts at key levels. I have marked my levels on my 10 core tickers. I will talk about what worked and what did not work in a few minutes. Okay, I'll be right back. Just need a quick drink. No. Okay, I like having the 5-minute time frame on my charts. I know I can always zoom out and look to the left and see what's happening here. Apple is breaking out on the 5-minute. Then what I do is I will look at the area to the left, and then I go to my trading view chart as well, and I bring that up, and I've got it on my main screen as well. So with the 5-minute time frame, I do zoom out as well. And I want to see what's happening on the higher time frame as well. Microsoft, Could be putting in a kangaroo tail. If it were to close near the tops here, would be interesting, but it has the higher time frame. It is making lower lows and lower highs. So I don't know. We'd have to see a lot of buying for this to start reversing. In other words, for me to be interested. If anybody sees anything or if you have questions, please don't hesitate. I will bring up the chat on my other screen. There you go. There we go. So as far as the first 5 minutes, that is something that I stopped. I stopped trading the first 5 minutes at least a year ago. It is way too volatile. I will possibly take a trade right after the first 5 minutes if I see, and the only thing I can see is a kangaroo tail. That's the only way I would take a trade. If I saw a strong kangaroo tail right after the first 5 minutes. But otherwise, I often wait 15 minutes to a half hour. I want to see where the market makers are and the algos are pushing the market. Where are we pushing down? Right now, we seem to be aiming for yesterday's lows, right? We've opened below PDC on SPY here I'm looking at. Right, we are looking at yesterday's low, which was here, which was 680.37. There you go. So we've punched down below the lows. And then how does market react here? Right, slow and steady. I want to see what will the market do at this point. We are pulling back on that massive AMD candle. QQQ alert just came up. I'd like to see it come down and take out the liquidity below. And to my students, liquidity, it just means that there is anybody who would have gone long here, their stops would be right underneath here. Right? So that's what this wick could mean. It could be a liquidity sweep. Let's go get all those stops because then there are orders to be filled. And then do we start punching up higher from there? That's what I'm looking for. So bringing SPY up on my trading view here, and then I like seeing where the levels are. Camarilla levels, it is right at S3, which could be a buying range. Hopefully this green candle doesn't take off too much because that is the setup that I'd like to see on the 5 minute. Still a minute and a half before this closes. The 5 minute candle, that is. Very hard to take it long here. If anybody was on mic, sure you'd see why I personally would not take it long here. However, there was a lot of buying coming in. What does the volume look like? Oh no, 68% R vol. That's pretty low. Generally speaking, the market seems to be generally green. Apple's first 5-minute candle was massive. Little bit of a pullback back to R4, but on the 5-minute time frame, it's too hard to enter. It's already at R6. So if somebody caught this, you have to be trading the first few minutes to catch this. And that's okay. There's going to be other setups. My better setups often happen after 11 in the morning. Actually, that being said, let's look at cues from yesterday. So during the day, I'm on the 5-minute. Let's go back to replay this. And this is where I started looking at it. So this was an area of interest here. I'll put a, there you go. I'll put a level there. So previous day's low was right here. We came down and took out liquidity below that low, put in 3 5-minute candles at that low. A little bit hard to see. Let's zoom in a bit. There you go. So this is showing buying at that level, right? That's yesterday's level. You look room to the left, tons of room to the left, because below this, we got to go quite a few days. So that's perfect for that, that part of my, my system. Then we went higher, and then we were making new lows, and then this big candle here, but then we started seeing some buying. So I'm going, this is where I switched to the 1-minute. So we've made the second low. At this point on the 5-minute, once I see that second low closing, this is where I zoom into the 1-minute. This is my strategy. This is my double bottom strategy. I've got a checklist of rules that I've back tested, and I'm just sharing how I look at it. So from yesterday, let's move up one candle. There you go. So what it is I'm going to be looking for is a lot of buying. I want to see the buying on the tape. Sorry, Ford up 5%. I don't trade Ford. Ford's like a $10 stock. Anyway, sorry. Alerts on my watch can be distracting. So I want to see, is there buying here? I like that the second low was higher than the first low. So I start looking at it candle by candle. So wow, big punch up. So that means there's going to be a fair value gap put in here. I do not enter right here. Sometimes I will. I mean, if I see that there's a lot of buying on the tape, I might get in and put my stop below low of day. But what I do prefer, and I did not, full disclosure, I did not take this trade. I was not on my computer at 12:30 yesterday. But I wanted to show a really nice setup. So a few minutes later, it comes back. Look at how it tests the 1-minute fair value gap. And I want to see it tests it and then puts in a bullish candle, which this closing really near the top. Again, wicking right down below. Even though it's a red candle, it's still somewhat bullish because it touched the fair value gap and did not go any lower. This one did go down a little bit lower, so I'm still not in. There you go. That is where I'd like to think of where I would have gotten in. Again, this is not something that I traded live, but just at this level here, right? It's a double bottom. It put in a fair value gap. It retested this fair value gap, put in a large 1-minute candle, enter right here, and then 3R is, I'd like it to be at S4. If 3R was way up here, I would not take it because S4 is a very possible area of resistance. So let's go candle by candle. Obviously, I've got the benefit of knowing where it went, but like I said, this is just for educational purposes. See how it just stopped at S4, right? It did get to 3 to 1. However, that's with the stop below the fair value gap. Some people will be very aggressive and put their stop below the bullish 5-minute candle. If that were the case, 3R would be much closer. But again, you need a pretty large account, depending on what your risk value is, to be able to take really tight stops like that. Basically, same setup on SPY, right? There you go, double bottom at a level, and I did not put where these levels were yesterday, but it was at a buying level. So the same thing happened on SPY yesterday. So anyway, that's partly what my double bottom looks like. All right, so now 15 minutes has passed, where I tend to start looking a little bit more seriously. This is an interesting candle on Google. I want to see if it's at a level. So Google, that it went and touched S4. Again, I don't like that these levels right here, right? Yesterday's low, pre-market low, PDC. I mean, do we go long here and hope to make it past all this resistance here? Personally, it's a no. SPY, there was a lot of buying here, and I wish that I had something in my trade book to say to buy this, because I'm sure these options would have been incredible. Let's say the 680 calls, 680 calls. We're at near the bottom there, 290, and they're approaching 6 right now, so almost 100% higher. If anybody sees anything, or you want to say something, or if you want me to look at something on TradingView, don't hesitate. Microsoft would have worked here. It did not put in the KT that I like, but guaranteed some people would have taken this long, especially on the break of the previous 5-minute candle, which was 384.67. The break of it would have been above PDC. Right, so making a new high of that first 5-minute candle, right, taking it above PDC here. PDC is my dotted line, or the thick dotted line, or the long dotted line, I should say. Taking it long here would have worked. So a lot of people look at the 5-minute strategy with ORB. So I'm getting a brain fart. Oops. All right, this is an interesting area here. We broke down this rectangle. By the way, I was pointing it out to one of my students yesterday. This is the IB, the initial balance, the 1 hour rectangle here that I don't usually, I don't always draw it. But once we broke out here, the rule, the Edgeful rule, is that it is very unlikely, once you make a low after 10:30, it is very unlikely that we're going to make it back to the highs. So this was the breakdown level yesterday, and this is where we are right now. So what do? Is it going to keep on going, or is it going to reverse from here? Don't know, but I will look at it. Google is interesting as a breakdown and retest, but well, it is at a level. This is S3 right here. So the strategy would be, my strategy for the breakdown and retest, it broke down with momentum, but then there was buying at this level here. Well, that's what that wick is. And then the following candle is a kangaroo tail, which shows that there was a lot of buying here and closed near the tops. However, if it were to put in a bearish candle and then break the low of that bearish candle with momentum, it could be a short. First target would be the low of day. But I also have a level at 308. So that's a higher time frame level. Yeah, it was support. Support 2 days ago. So I guess on Friday. Put it here. All right, so this level here was resistance in the pre-market, and then on Friday we broke out, retested, and then took off from there. So this line here is interesting. Not in a hurry. I'm going to see what happens. For those of you who pay attention to the CAM levels, the area between S3 and S4, a lot of people will avoid those areas and not trade those areas at all. And I have them on my chart. I don't necessarily trade with all the Camarilla rules. I just like having them on my chart for conviction sometimes, or just to see, is it an actual level? There you go. So we're punching out, making new highs here. Right. So there's no short indication here yet for me. Interested in how SPY is going to react here. ARM is up 5%. Those of you who trade ARM, ARM. SPY is very interesting where it is right now. This is R3. It is a higher time. It is where we broke down yesterday. Tried to retest it. around 130 yesterday. It is pre-market high, so it's definitely an area of interest. So I'm looking at SPY right now on my secondary screen. I'm looking at the 1 minute on SPY, but I also have the SPY puts on my screen, the 684 puts. And I want to see if there's a massive move in that. And right now, I'm not seeing it. Actually, I speak too quickly. Now it's it's moving a bit. But again, not a big move like I would expect it if we were actually going down. So these are all the moving parts that I look at.
I'm looking at gold gills now. I took a short in the pre-market, and now it's on a pullback. I'm in one contract short for this double top. Double top. Yeah, on gold.
What was there? That's what I've got right now. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one. But I'm on the MGC, the microns, not the full contracts.
Yeah. There you go.
It's been weak on the 30 minutes chart. I did a head and shoulders on the 30 minutes. And now I see it as a retest. So it's either gonna make it.
You're saying the head and shoulders?
Yes.
Okay. So shoulder, head, shoulder? Is that how
Yes.
you're seeing it? Okay.
I took a short in the pre-market. It paid off well. And now it bounced off the level, the 5140, 5120, and it's going up. I'm looking if it will make another leg down.
Are you, do you still just look at the 30-minute?
Yeah, I'm looking at the 30-minute. My thesis is still there. And now it bounced with the Fibonacci 50% retracement.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't trade futures right now, but I mean it is below the neckline here. I think that's what you're using as your neckline, at least for the right or left shoulder. So it is below here, went down, touched the S6, which is a buying area, could be a buying area, and then on the 5-minute time frame, right, making some big candle, but then rejecting right here.
Yeah.
Right. That's very interesting right there. So I mean, I would map this out right here, and I'd like to see, does it make a new high above this area? Does it close above this area? Right? Do we get a 5-minute candle closing above this area, and then does this become support for the next move up? So yeah, don't know what it's going to do, but it looks interesting. It definitely looks like a breakdown, retest, and then if we can make some new lows here, and then be careful of the possible double bottom later on, right? So you'd be aiming.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, this is what I'm looking for, something like that, or to retest back the structure at 5136.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Tarek. We're seeing a little bit higher volume now in SPY and Qs. Still low in Meta, Google, Amazon. AMD, massive volume because of this massive move this morning. Curious to see what the options are. If you were in a put, right? Let's say you were in a put around the 202 level. That's why I don't trade overnight options unless they're expiring much further in advance, in the future. Sorry, I should say. The February 27th. 202. But some, I'm surprised they haven't. And what were they yesterday? Oh yeah, they have moved. They were at 925 yesterday, and they opened this morning at 325 or around there. So that's a massive move on something like this, on options. Why you have to know what you're doing with these positions, because you never know when something like this is going to happen. Great if you're long. If you're a long-term investor and you're seeing this, that's great. But if you're a trader and holding overnight, then these, if they go against you, they can be scary. Oh, so this occurred while I was talking in Google. So the 5-minute bearish candle was put in. So it could be a breakdown and retest for the move lower. Again, I always share a lot of reasons why I would not take a trade. There's not a lot of room here from there until where there was a lot of buying here, and this is S4. So I'm okay that I missed it, because I would have had to my 3R would have been closer to just above 300 at S6, 302, I think. So Apple is consolidating up here. It's a double bottom on Meta, maybe. And a 5-minute time frame. Liquidity is a tiny bit lower. I mean, I had an alert on Meta to take out. What was it for? Still low here. 629.35. 30 minutes. Oh, okay, from last week. Interesting level on Meta. So I am going to look at that. It's a very possible area of buying here. Or continuation down, right? Not trading advice. I'm just basically telling you guys what it is that I'm looking at. So this could be an area of possible buying, or breakdown, retest lower. So whenever I have a level on my chart, it's not to go long or short. It's just an area of interest. And this is an area of interest for Meta right now. 628. SPY, like I said earlier, it was moving down right after this breakdown. But even on options, you could tell that there wasn't a lot of selling. And then PDC is right there. PDC is a magnet. Previous day close is my long dotted line here. Like to see what happens at this level here on Google for a possible double bottom again. It has come up from a higher area. It consolidated, but then broke down. And then we saw some buying with this candle right here. What happens if it comes down below right here? So there you go. I'm setting an alert. If we come down below this candle right here, this might have been the second bottom right here, this candle right here. It might have been. Personally, I'd like it to be a little bit lower, especially that S4 is right there. I'll share this. All right. I'm on the 1 minute now. So once we hit this, we did put in a 1 minute candle, fair value gap. Could not make a low below it. Curious to see if it comes down at S4 again. Do we see it? Are there a lot of buyers at this level? Big institutional buyers, are they getting involved at this area? And we'll see it. We'll see it if it happens. Then I might get involved. However, I don't like that there's only 57% R vol. If I'm going to get involved, I want it to be moving. And the market, it looks like it's just going sideways right now. I'm honestly of the opinion that we're waiting for this guy to report, as well as the State of the Union. You know, what is President Trump going to talk about tonight that is going to affect the markets? If you're a hedge fund or are you going to get in long in very large positions unless you know something? But without knowing what's going to happen, I don't know. I think we just might be going sideways today. Might be looking at small positions here and there. I know a lot of people don't look at economic news and they just look at the charts. I like to put everything together. Sometimes it's to my detriment. Sometimes I won't get involved in as many trades, but I'm okay with that. I don't have to take trades every day. But if my setup prints while I'm at the computer, then I will absolutely get involved. Where's that gold trade going? Oh,
it went a little bit in my direction. Now it's almost stopping me up.
Yeah, this, I don't know if you see my screen here, but for those that I'm sharing this for, this candle right here, this is on the 5 minute. So this candle right here, even though it printed red, it's somewhat of a bullish candle. Right? We tried to make new lows and then it punched back up. It closed near the low, but then this massive turning into an engulfing candle. But is it just coming to get, and don't you trade your own trade, but is it just getting liquidity up here? Who knows? It is 5 minutes making new higher lows. But this is a very, very interesting spot. So depending on where you shorted from, right, it's obvious that there are a lot of stops right in this area. Right?
Yeah, so, this is my stop. If it closes in this area, I will bail on it.
Yeah, so let me just put this rectangle here. So, right, it's just above these wicks here in this rectangle, there are a lot of orders. So the algos know that there are stops there. Are they going to go get them? Right, at the end of the day, we need to have buyers that are interested in taking this higher. Or are they just shorts that want to get in a little bit higher before the next move down? We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. But that is absolutely an area of interest right here.
Let's see.
Let's see. That's why Avi, I had a conversation with him a couple of weeks ago about my own trading and going in with bigger size. And I remember him saying that at one point in his trading, he would put an order on and then walk away. Right? Put your target on at 3 or 4 to 1 or whatever it is for you, and put your stop and then walk away. And I do that often for 3 to 1. I have 2 different systems that I use, same system, but either I'm trading options on Qs and SPY or trading equities on the other 8. And if it's equities on the other 8 and I put in I can walk away, right? With options, it's very difficult to walk away because of time decay. But with equities, I'll put the trade on, especially if I'm off the mic after 10:30. Walk away. I might look at it on my phone later on just to see what happened. But it works very well to get the emotions out of the equation. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Avi was telling me about the same, taking the trader out of the equation. This is what I'm trying to do with my trading and holding longer. This is something I really need to work on.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's the absolute hardest part of trading is the psychology. I know it has been for me. It took me years to be able to detach and trust and have discipline and patience, and it's a process. Interesting area on SPY again.
Below alert.
Oh, that's my alert on Google. I wanted to see, is Google going to put in a double bottom? I'm going to put in the SPY options, the put options on my screen, just to see how aggressive they are. You can often tell, even if you don't trade options, if you can have the options chain on your screen, if you can often see the move happening in options before they happen on the ETF. Okay, so big red candle on Google. Two big red 1 minute fair value gaps just formed on the 1 minute. It would have to be very obvious buying here for me to think of going long. But again, there are orders right below this wick here. There's traders that went long on the break here, aiming maybe for PDC and put their stops right below the wick. So what do? Do we just come and get that wick? This is where I differ a little bit from Avi's double bottom strategy. If it is a stop hunt, so if it does make a new low, but then closes really strong as a kangaroo tail, then I would possibly get in. But this is a big 5-minute red candle. So right now I'm not crazy interested in it, especially looking at the rest of the market pulling back. Amazon. This is very interesting on Amazon. As far as some people might call a double top, I just like this candle here as the rejection candle. Amazon, that is at R3. But again, it just broke down below and it did not punch down below. And then PDC's right there. If you're scalping, I mean, there's definitely opportunities in this. So gold futures have just gone up above the level here. Interesting. What's going to happen here? Does it close above that level?
This is the moment of truth. I think it's going for it.
Yeah, on the 1 minute, that last candle was bullish.
Yeah.
Very interesting to see what's happening right here. I mean, I've got no skin in the game, so it's entertaining for me. And I know it's very odd. If you're not a trader, how can looking at these candles be entertaining? But it is. It's a battle. There's buyers and sellers involved here, and there's people all over the world looking at these same things here. And so Google, as far as my double bottom setup, Google has put in the second bottom. It has not formed a really bullish candle yet. Right? It did form 1 minute fair value gap. So personally, I'd like it to see, can it come back down here and then, right, come and retest the 306.35 area and then put in a really bullish candle, and then yeah, I would go in. Or along, let's say if it was here, stop would be just below here, and 3R would be right around there. I mean, I might bring it down, depending on where the entry would be, I might bring it down just to this level here, or right above. So we'll see what happens. 10 more minutes, and I'm going to sign off. Gold, we're really chopping around that area.
Yeah, the whole thing, the 5 minutes closed in this range. So I think I'll take a stop on this one.
If it makes a new high.
Yeah, it will make a new high. It looks, it's holding the 51.55 level. So if it keeps holding this breakout, this is just a retest for the breakout.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
That's
I'll
it.
be on the wrong side.
Yeah. All right. So this was a very bullish candle right here. And then the retest, this kangaroo tail right here, or actually it's called the trendy kangaroo when it's in a range, when it's, you know, it's trending higher, came and retested and then broke out. There you go, making new highs.
I'm out of it.
Yeah. I don't know how gold reacts pre-market. I don't know how, you know, even at this was a nice move at that was yesterday. But yeah, I don't know how it reacts to the New York Open. I will be getting more into it as time goes on. Going back to Google now. See, Google did put in that 1 minute bullish candle, which I will show here. Right over here, retested a tiny bit, but then this was a bullish candle. Here, let's make it a little bit bigger. Right, this candle right here, right, wick down and then closed near the top and then made a new high. So that I did not take it. That would be the entry. A lot of people would put their stop right below that wick. And then your 3R is there. So here we go. Let's just see. That's what I love about TradingView. This long tool here is fantastic for gauging, not back testing, but forward or live testing. Right. Now, this is not really a double top because it just came sideways. However, the rejection of this level here, especially if we don't make a new high, could be very telling on SPY and Qs. Right? Because again, this was the level yesterday where we broke down from. Low-ish RVol, 79% is okay with me. SPY still right at R3. The SPY $685 puts are going down because the market's going up. Gold has broken out above that level.
Hey, good morning, Judge. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah, I have a quick question. Where do you get your CAM indicators from?
Let me bring up Trading View. There you go. CPP. Camarilla Pivot Plays Light by Brooks. Come on. BRUZ capital X. This is a Bear Bull Traders guy that trades with those of you that know Bear Bull Traders, that trades with Thor, who's the author of a lot of Camarilla Pivot Plays. This is a free version. I know there is a paid version that gives alerts and all kinds of stuff. Even right now, it's saying that there is a possible play in this. So anyway, hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, I wrote my own indicator. It looks like it matches with this for stocks, but not for futures.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I also converted towards the strategy thing on Thinkorswim to Trading View. I want to compare them if anybody has that.
Yeah, it might be something in the questions and answers tab or in live trading. Right now, that's all I use. I do have them on DOS as well, but I like I said, they're just something I like having on my screen. I don't necessarily trade them according to all the rules that are involved. I mean, that's why I got out of Camarilla Pivot Trading. It does work, but there are tons and tons of rules. There you go.
Yeah, I agree. I use it as just a level to.
Yeah.
It's a guide actually sometimes too.
Yeah.
And the other question I had is what is your R-wall? Is it coming from the DAS or?
Sorry, the what?
R-wall, the relative volume.
R-wall. Oh, sorry. Yes, R-wall here. Yeah, it's a DOS indicator. It's available on other platforms as well, but I just use it on, and it's just relative volume. So it's calculated. I don't even know how many days it goes, but general indication, you want it to, if it's at 100%, it means it's trading basically what it was trading yesterday or the day before, the day before. When it's really low, when you're looking at Google at 57%, Meta at 57%, it just means that the volume is lower than it is on average. And for me,
it's a 3-day average.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's a 3-day average then?
I would have to go and check it. I don't know. Whatever the default is, actually, it might not be the default. I might have changed it, but I've been using it for years. So I don't know if it's 3 days, 5 days, 14 days. I'm not sure.
When you get a chance, can you look that up and what your setting is and let me know?
Sure.
Thanks.
Yeah. I'll post something in the question and answers, or if you're there tomorrow, I could let you know. But for now, it's approaching 10:30, and I'm going to be logging off shortly.
Yeah, sure. No hurry.
Yeah, no problem. My pleasure. I'll look into that. So that SPY, what I was looking at, would it reject this area? It's not. It's that area of interest seems to be buying now. All right, so there's a breakout. Now, will it come back down here and retest it and then take off? That I would be interested in. Again, as far as room to the left, it was there yesterday, but yeah, it was there yesterday, and this could be, all these areas here could be possible areas of rejection. But now that we're above pre-market high, I mean, the thinking is that we're buying, right? Especially with Apple at up 2.8, AMD up 8.1, Amazon up 1.2, right? The major FANG or MAG 7 or whatever you want to call them are trending up. There you go. That's my 1030 arm. Sorry, go ahead.
It seems like we have some news. The crude oil is dropping like crazy on the last 5 minutes. It seems like some news is going up.
What do you what's the ticker you look at for oil?
MCL.
Just CL?
MCL.
MCL, yeah, it's the same
Yeah.
same thing. Just sorry.
Yeah.
Crude
It
oil.
dropped really fast.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, and this move is big for oil. Oil doesn't move that.
I don't know if somebody has a news app that they're following or yeah, the on TradingView is just 10 hours ago, so there's nothing live. Yeah, curious to know what's going on there. With the tensions with the Middle East, it's always you know hard to gauge what's going on with oil or the general market when there's possible tensions and the market can turn on you. That's why I always advise as soon as you get into anything, have a stop. Always have a stop and a market stop. Right? If you have a limit stop, it could just skip right over you.
Yeah, that's so true. I took the gold short again. Let's see if it will work this time or no with the news, with something going on in the market.
Yeah. Yeah, it does seem to have right, pulled up and now rejecting here. This on the 5-minute time frame, that is a bearish candle. Now, can it close below this range here? And I know I just drew this, but it's around the area that we were selling at before. Right? So are we just pulling back? Is this in another little micro pullback up to here for the next continuation higher? Who knows? Depending on your strategy, I don't know what you saw here that you wanted to take as short.
Once again, I'm looking at it as a bull flag.
On what time frame?
On the 5 minutes, it might be a bull flag from bottom, one high, another high. But if it's a bull flag, it needs to sell really fast. If it didn't sell really fast, that's a trap. That's another ABCD, basically.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's good news. Okay, I am going to log off with that. Good luck, everyone. I'll be back on. I think Avi said he's on at noon or 1, but there's in the general tab or the announcements tab, there's a couple people coming on today. So might catch up later. If not, I'll be back tomorrow morning.
Thank you, girls.
All right. Cheers. Have a good day, everyone.